Hey guys, it's Kelsey. So first of all, I just wanted to apologize for not uploading last week. I was actually really sick and I sounded like a man and I was coughing every 5 seconds and I had a lot of other stuff to do that weekend. So I was trying to get better but also finish everything that needed to get done. And it was just a rough time. So I could not upload last week, but I am here today with a new video for you guys. This is going to be kind of a different video just because I've never done something like this on my channel, but I thought it would be kind of helpful. So this past Friday, I did get my driving permit, and I just kind of thought I would talk about the experience and how I studied for it and stuff, just because I thought this would be helpful for some people if it's their first time going through the whole process of learning to drive and all of that stuff. So I just thought I would talk about it, and maybe this will be helpful. So first, I just want to clarify, because I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of questions being like, oh my god, I thought you were 12. I'm really confused. So I'm actually 16. At least where I live, you can get your permit at 15 and a half and then your license at 16. I know it's kind of different for different states, so just letting you know that's how it works here. So I'm a little bit late getting my permit because technically now I could get my license, but I have just waited. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that before you're all like, wait, no, you're not old enough to drive, ha! But like, I got my permit. So I also just want to put a disclaimer that the things that I mentioned in the video may only be specific to certain states, but I'm trying to make it general so that it can help pretty much anybody, but there might be a few specific things that you need to look up for your specific state. Okay, so with all that being said, let's just get into the video. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is sign up for a driving course, because you are required to take a driving course in order to get your permit. So you can either take it online or you can actually go to a driving school. I just took it online because that way I could go at my own pace and I wasn't forced to go to certain classes on certain days. And I took that over the summer just because I wanted to have my full focus on it. I didn't want to have to be worrying about school and also trying to focus on driving lessons, so I did it over the summer. So then once you complete your whole driving course, there'll be like a test at the end, and then if you pass it, then you have completed your driving course successfully. And you should get a little thing in the mail that's like a little certified thing that you completed your driving course. So once you have done that, then you can schedule your permit test appointment. I definitely recommend setting up an appointment because the DMV sucks, and if you do not have an appointment, you're gonna have to wait in a really long line, and the DMV is just not a very fun place to be. So I just recommend getting an appointment. I recommend doing it in advance because I actually finished all my permit courses in July and didn't get my permit till September, so I recommend scheduling an appointment early. So then once you do that, it's time to study because you want to pass your first try, hopefully. So there's a couple different ways you can study. I took a couple of online quizzes, so I took a couple of those. Those are very helpful because you can actually get a feel for the kind of questions that are going to be on the test. Also get the driver's handbook for your state. I didn't get that, but I bet that would be really helpful because I missed a couple of questions on my permit test and it told me the exact section that it was in, so I'm sure that'd be very helpful. I didn't use that, but I probably should have. The one thing I think helped me the most was actually this app, and no, this video is not sponsored, everybody. So the app that I used to study was called DMV Genie, and basically you just put whatever state you're obviously in, and then it has a bunch of different practice quizzes. So they have 5 easy quizzes, they have a road signs quiz, a situations quiz, and then they have this thing called exam mode that you take, and that is the full 46 questions, I believe, and then you're allowed 8 mistakes. So I definitely recommend getting that app. I did it all the time. The week before my permit test, I was taking all these practice quizzes during school and when I had free time, and I definitely think it helped me because I don't think I would have passed my permit test if I did not have that app. So I definitely recommend it. The thing about the permit test is overall it's pretty basic information. If you know your road signs, make sure you know your road signs, make sure you know about turning and common sense kind of stuff, but also make sure you know random little facts, because it asks me questions about how much you'd get fined for certain certain things. It asked me random questions about like how many days you can be in jail for certain situations. So make sure you just know like random facts, because it asked me a couple of those. So yes, definitely make sure you study, because although a lot of people say it's common sense, you still want to know a couple little details, because those will get you. All right, so now for the actual DMV part. Let me tell you, the DMV is not a very fun place to be. The people working there are not the nicest. It's just crowded and it's boring and it's not fun. I want to tell you that in advance. So when you get to the DMV for your permit test, make sure that you have, I think there's like 4 things you need. It might depend on your state, so make sure you look at the DMV website to see what you need for your specific state, but I think this goes for most states. You need a copy of your birth certificate, you need your social security number, unless you like have it memorized. You need your certificate of completion for your online course. Oh, and then you need this thing called the DL-44 form, and it basically just has everything that's going to be on your permit or on your license, like your name and your address and the color of your eyes, all that fun stuff. But you can fill that out at the DMV. That's what I did because I couldn't find it online, but I believe you can get it online. Yeah, make sure that you have those things, because that will just speed up the process and it gets really confusing if you don't have it. So just make sure that you have everything that you need. So then when you get into your appointment line, or if you didn't make an appointment, you'll wait in your line, and whenever you get pulled up to a window, someone is just going to check over and make sure you have everything that you need to, and then they'll give you a little ticket, and then you wait for your numbers to be called. And I definitely think having the appointment helped, because the lady checked my information really quickly, and then I only had to wait about 5 or 10 minutes until my number was called, and they'll pull you up to another window, and then they just like check over all your information and everything like that. And you do have to pay for the permit test. I think everywhere the prices are different in different places, so just make sure you have the payment ready for that. And then you will take a vision test, so make sure that your eyes have been checked recently. I actually just got new contacts, so I was like ready to go for the vision test. And it's nothing to fret about. It's literally, at my DMV, it was just these signs hanging up on the ceiling and you had to read them. So it's nothing to fret about, but just make sure that your vision is good, otherwise you're not going to pass and then you don't get your permit. So then once they've checked over everything, they will tell you to go over to a certain area to take your permit test. And you do have the option of either a computer or a written test. I've heard a lot of different stories. I've heard the written one is easier. I don't really know how much I believe that, because I feel like the questions are pretty much the same no matter what test you take. It kind of depends, because you also have to wait for them to grade the test, which can be stressful, whereas on the computer it tells you right away if you get something wrong, and it's just, I don't know. It's whatever you prefer, honestly. I took the online one just because I didn't want to have to worry about them grading it, and I just kind of wanted to get it over with. So they sent me to this little corner area with the computers, and you just take your test, and at the end it'll tell you if you passed or failed. I passed my first try. I was super excited. I was also very nervous because I was just worried I was going to get too many wrong, but I did pretty well. I think I missed about 4 or 5 questions. So that was pretty good. And then I just went up to the window, and this lady just like gave me my physical permit and told me everything that I needed to do. And also, just so you know, your permit isn't valid until you do your first behind the wheel lesson, so I can't really drive yet. I think that's basically everything you need to know. It's pretty easy. I wouldn't stress about it. I stressed about it, and it was totally fine, and it's not really that big of a deal if you need to retake it. A lot of people need to retake it, and you'll pass eventually. Just make sure you study for it, and then you'll be able to pass your first try, hopefully. So I think that's kind of all I have to say about the whole driver's permit kind of experience and how to study for it. I hope that this helped somebody. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions, just comment down below. I'd be happy to answer them. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!